we got Charles here.
Hey, Charles, ready to go?
Yes, sure.
Media, please start raising your hands for questions for Charles.
Might be a couple minutes.
If you have questions for Charles, please raise your hand. Thank you. First question, Jason Leisure.
Hey, Charles.
Yo.
I just want to know what your thoughts were. We didn't hear from you about the protests that the players did or the reasonings behind not practicing last week and what message you want to get across.
So message we wanted to get across were, from the standpoint of demographic wise, where we at. Kenosha's, right in our backyard. Even though it's in Wisconsin, that's closest to us. We were the closest team to it, and we didn't make a reaction of it. So as players, we wanted to take a stand and, just let everybody know that what's going on right now in our society, we as players have a different perspective on it because we're professionals. Everybody looked at us and praises us, especially me being a black player, being a black male. They praise me for what I'm doing, but there's other black males out there who are getting mistreated. And that's what our stance was. And that's what we wanted to get across. And being the team closest to it, we wanted to take a stand. And I hope we did that. But we still got a lot of work to do, still have ton of work to do, whether that's in the fields of, being in Kenosha, being in Chicago, just all around the United States of America.
Pat Finley.
Hey, Charles, you mentioned last time that you wanted to talk to the Bears about maybe going up there and spending some time in the community. Is that anything you've done yet? And if not, are there concerns about your safety if you were to go up there at some point?
Right. So I talked to the Bears about it due to COVID and due to concerns. Yes, that is off limits, but we are still trying to figure out ways we can help impact. So that just to answer your question, yes, that was in discussion, but I got told that I couldn't do that. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're still trying to figure out ways how we can impact that community and, help other communities all around us in the United States.
Nathan Smith.
Charles, as one of the more senior offensive linemen, how do you see this current line gelling together in camp?
I see it gelling well. So the crazy thing about it is just looking at my perspective, just on left side. This is the first camp me and James Daniels actually had together. His rookie year, he was going from center and guard, bouncing around, and had another guard next to me. And then last year, he was at center. So this is actually the first time that actually me and James are playing well together and playing together. So that's going to help our play going into the season. And, we got Cody at the helm. Cody's our fearless leader. He's the guy that makes everything, sets everybody up. So we all trust in him. And then Jermaine and Bobby, they're doing really well right now, just gelling well together. So minus one spot, the guard spot. We're bringing back everybody from last year. So I feel it's doing really well together. It's been good vibes in training camp right now, good vibes in the meeting room. And, let's carry that on to the season.
Stacey Dales.
Hey, Charles. Coach Nagy talked yesterday about not really having the identity you guys wanted last year as an offense. He said you've started to maybe kind of find it a little bit. Do you sense that you are figuring out a bit of an identity even in this early stage? And if so, what might that identity be this year?
Yeah, so I figure, I don't know if Nagy talked about it, but aggressive and attacking, that's the mindset for the offense this year. I can't tell you what that's going to look like on the field, but I know that's the mindset we all have going out there. So I would start with that, and definitely just locking in on details. Well, we slipped a lot last year on the details things. So just fine tuning the details and just being more attacking and aggressive. We were a lot of really conservative and a lot of play calls and stuff like that last year. And, even coming from offensive line perspective, we weren't really attacking that much as a front five, moving guys off the ball. So we'll be definitely doing that more often too.
If I can quickly follow up on that, Charles, how about the run game in that, just as far as, I'm sure you guys want to push the front for your running backs. And do you sense that that will be an increased focus this year?
I hope so. I'm not the one calling the plays, but I hope so. That's all I can ask for. All I hope is, we get a little more. Well, first we got to do a better job. I'm putting on ourselves first. We got to do a better job of, creating that space. But then also we would love more run calls being called. So, whoever the play caller is, we'll hope that be the case. If it was me, I'd run every play.
Dan Wiederer.
Charles, you've obviously been with Mitch for 3 years, but with Nick, over the last month, what have you learned about him as a teammate, him as a quarterback?
This right here. This is what he does when you're in the huddle, right here. This is what you get from Nick. He always does this right here. But I mean, like, it comes with a little calming. Like, he's been around the league for a while. He's a vet, so he has this, demeanor and cool, calm, collected demeanor about him that, he can't get rattled. Nothing shakes him. I'm Nick. That's how he is. And also just talking to him outside of football, and me and him talk a lot about the Word of God. I know he's a man of God, and we connect on that, and we have daily Bible or weekly Bible study, and just learning more about him on that aspect really let me know a lot about him. So I appreciate him for opening that up and letting me be involved in the discussions with him.
Colleen Kane.
Hey, Charles, what's your assessment, Ben, of how the quarterback competition has gone, and just how eager are you to see who the coaches pick in the next few days here?
From my perspective, I think it's going. I can't even tell if it's going well, gone bad, or anything. I'm just out there trying to do my job. Whoever coach picks, I mean, my job isn't going to change. I still have to protect them regardless what happens. So I'm just excited to, play football again. I mean, we haven't gone against somebody, besides, I haven't gone against another opponent since December of last year. So I'm just excited to get back here on the football field. Granted all this COVID stuff going on, and no fans, we'll see how all that stuff goes. I'm just excited to get back to, playing and hitting somebody else other than, Roy Robertson Harris all day.
Two more for Charles. Jason Leisure.
Charles, as you've watched racial injustice come back to the forefront in our country over the last 3 or 4 months, what have you thought of the way the president has handled that issue?
Well, yesterday, I think it was, he was in Kenosha.
Yes.
I believe I caught a little bit of it on television. Didn't get to see a lot of it, but I would love to see more in the aspect of, I mean, I know he stands behind the law enforcement like no other, which that's fine. But when they stand behind the law enforcement, I wish it'd be more geared towards the training. I know he mentioned it in that press conference about how these guys are in pressure situations, but that's fine. Like, that's the job they signed up for. You're going to be in those pressure situations. Have more training involved with that. I would love to see a bigger push with the police training and things like that. So I'm an advocate of training. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. So I would love to see that coming into later policies and things like that. So, yeah.
Last one, Pat Finley.
Charles, what was it like to play in an empty Soldier Field on Saturday, and what do you suppose both empty road games and home games will feel like? Is there any one or two things that you're preparing for that will just be downright bizarre?
It was weird a little bit, but other than that, it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you still got to play football. So that's my take out of it, playing in the stadium. And I didn't get the second part of your question. What was that again? I was getting distracted.
And I'll ask a more specific one. How does it affect the snap count and what you can hear even with that piped in crowd noise?
Man, I played in Kansas City, and that's one of the loudest stadiums. If it's not going to get that loud, then I don't think it should be that big of a problem when it comes to the snap count, honestly. Because I think the decimals have to only be like 85 or something like that. So if Kansas City was in the 120s, 130s, hopefully, they don't sneak an extra, knob on there and try to get us on some third downs or something like that.
Awesome. That's it, Charles. Appreciate the time.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Roquan Smith is up next.
Yeah.
Hey, Roquan.
I'm unmuted.
You good? You're good.
Hey, Roquan. First question comes from Jason Leisure.
Hey, Roquan, I was wondering just how it felt this year coming back for the start of the season. If you had kind of this mindset that you're one of the older players now, or if you still kind of feel like a young guy, or just what the vibe was overall for you when you showed up for training camp.
More so, I didn't even really think about those things much. Coming into training camp, my main mindset was just coming in and being the best player that I can be, having a chip on my shoulder, and just kind of do whatever I can to make this team a better team. Not worried about what year this is for me.
Dan Wiederer.
Coach said that it's just going to be a pretty simple 10-10-10 tomorrow. So you've successfully made it to the end of training camp for all intents and purposes. What is your sense of where this defense is at right now? As you head into week one, in terms of how connected, how confident, how ready you guys are for the regular season.
I think we're all very excited. A lot of guys are very excited just to get out there and like go against another team. We've been beating up on each other for a while, and I think we're in a really good spot. Everyone's flying around, very familiar with the defense and feeling very comfortable. So I'm excited just to see the step that we can take, because I think it's going to be a great one.
Chris Emma.
Roquan, this quarterback battle is coming down to the end here with a decision looming soon. What's your curiosity as to who's the guy leading you out there week one?
I'm not really so worried about that. I'm sure coach will put the best guy out there, and I'll let him tend to that. That's not my job. My job is to be the best linebacker I can be and help this defense to be the best defense we can be and be the best team we can be.
Jason Leisure.
Roquan, when you came in, you had Danny Trevathan, who was such an established player as a teammate. How have things evolved for you in terms of responsibility, where you come in as the rookie under Danny and now going into year 3? How do you think things have changed?
It's been great just always having that guy with a lot of experience. But, yeah, we're great teammates to each other. Guy looks out a lot, so it's great to learn things from him. And I think we're just both helping each other out in the best way we can. So looking forward to me and him doing a lot of good things this year.
But for you specifically, do you feel like your role has changed now as you've gotten older and been around longer?
Well, I definitely feel like the role is a little different from like initially when you're a wide-eyed rookie, you're coming in not knowing much what to expect or anything like that. So I definitely think things do increase a little bit.
Dan Wiederer.
Roquan, on the topic of rookies, I wondered your impressions of Rashad Smith and the type of training camp that he's had with you guys.
Yeah, I think he's been making a lot of good plays over the camp. Him and Bell as well, Keandre. So like, I think both of those guys, like their learning curve has been really good. So like, I was fairly impressed with those guys, and like, I'm looking forward to those guys like doing good things. I think those are some good players.
Stacey Dales.
Hey, Roquan, we recently talked to Khalil. He said, hey, let's get back to who we were in 2018, right? Sack the quarterback, takeaways, stout run defense. What do you make of that as far as this year's concerned, putting last year behind you? What do you want this thing to look like?
Yeah, last year is last year for a reason. I think this year is a new year, and I think we're just all excited. I know he said 2018, but I think we can be better than that. So that's our goal. That's our mindset, to be the best version of ourselves, each and everyone out there, and we can get out there and play it to the best of our ability. Then I think the sky's the limit, and we can accomplish all the things we set out to accomplish.
Pat Finley?
Personally, Roquan, how much do you think you have to accomplish this season? And have we seen kind of the best of you yet through the first 2 years? I know you had, the late start as a rookie and then the injury last year. What would a healthy, just normal third year be for you?
I think that's something that we'll all just see when the season comes around week 1. Just very excited. I think I got a lot to prove and definitely have a chip on my shoulder. So I'm definitely excited, and just to get out there with my brothers and do what we can.
Sean Hammond?
Hey, Roquan, just curious, what are your impressions so far of Jalen Johnson? And when you think about your rookie year, what was the hardest part of coming in and playing big minutes?
I think he's a good player for sure. There's a reason he got drafted that high. I think the guy makes plays, smart football player, physical corner. So I think that's great. But looking back at my rookie year, I think the biggest adjustment is just like time management. I'm sure he understands that. He's an adult, so he knows what he needs to do on and off the field to put himself in the best possible situation. Then he has a lot of veterans to lean on, such as like Kyle Fuller, Eddie, and those guys. So I think it'll be great for him.
Just a couple more for Roquan here. Jason Leisure?
Roquan, how would you describe the way your off season went? It had to, obviously it was weird for all of us with the pandemic, but how would you characterize what you got done in the off season?
I thought this was the best offseason I've had, even though there was a pandemic, even though I was coming off an injury. So like I was able to really focus on myself, hone into all the little details, and just focus on all the little things pretty much all off season, and then just come out and get back out here with my teammates. I feel like it was my best off season. So I'm just excited to showcase.
Awesome. That's going to be it, Roquan. Appreciate the time talking to these guys.
Thank you.
And that concludes today's media, everyone. Appreciate it.